My name is Pransky, and I'm running for the Ohio House District 77, which is out in Fairfield County. Pickerington, Baltimore, Lancaster, if you're from out that way. You've probably seen the signs, at least I hope you have. I've been working hard to get them out there. I'm one of these first-time candidates that you've been hearing so much about in this cycle. Never run for office before, and when I say that, I mean I've never run for office before. I never so much as ran for student council back in the day. When I say it's a first for me, it's really a first. Now, I'm a teacher by trade. That's what I do, during my work day. It's what I've been doing for a lot of years now. I'm a 3-time OU grad. Added an MBA a few years later for a total of 4. Officially done. No more. I've been teaching for a little over a decade now. And most of the stories that drew me into the position I'm in now come from the classroom. I'll give you a quick example, maybe 2, but I won't take up too much of your time. Example number 1 is a guy named Keith. Comes into my classroom, greasy from head to toe. Came in the classroom about 6 o'clock in the evening, wearing his work shirt with a name badge on it. He cleaned up as best he could, but there's only so much you can do on the way to school after work. So he came in my classroom after a full shift, and he performed better than any student I can remember. I remember thinking he was going to do something truly spectacular. He was going to, change his life, chase his dreams, do all those things that the American dream is about. And he did. Keith today is a middle school history teacher. And he's not just any teacher. He's that teacher that inspires, that teacher you all remember from your time in middle school. He's that guy. All right? He's incredibly good at it, and he's probably one of my greatest success stories in the classroom. All right? Now, this is a great story, but it has a catch or two, and these catches are the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing today. Keith, working 50, 60-hour weeks, earns $42,000 a year. He has $110,000 in student debt, and he pays back about $1,000 each year in school supplies that he brings to the classroom himself. After coming in my classroom, working as hard as you could ever ask a human being to work, and doing everything you could ask a student to do, there's probably someone I'm as proud of as any other student I've ever had. All right? And he goes into a field where we want our best and brightest to go. We want them to go into the classroom, we want them to teach, we want them to bring people along, to elevate them and move them up. And he doesn't know week to week how he's going to pay his bills. This is a real problem. It's a problem with real solutions. A lot of those solutions are tied to the support that we give or don't give to our schools. Now, this is just one issue. There are many, and I could talk about them all night long. Ask anyone who knows me, they'll say, if you ask me the time, I'll tell you the bill to watch. Yeah. But I'm not going to do that because there's a lot of people in this room, all right, and they're all going to start eyeballing me here real soon. All right, so I'm going to tell you one more story before I hop down and thank you all for your support. I'm in my classroom one night, talking to a really bright group of young people, just after Charlottesville, just after a lot of things. And I'm speaking to my students about America, about what it is, about what we are. And I notice I'm getting kind of loud. I can be a little passionate at times. And I'm looking out at my students, and they're not really responding. They're all kind of stone-faced. They're very young. Don't have any history to look back on, to compare what's going on now. Don't have anything to compare it to. And I'm really frightened that they're about to see that this is their new normal. Maybe they're accepting it. Maybe that's what I'm seeing. So I get a little louder. I get a little more passionate. And finally, I get a response from one of them. Now, my favorite person in the world is a really smart person who disagrees with me. I tell my students to challenge me. I tell them to challenge me as often as they can. It's one of my favorite things. So this young student, really bright young woman, actually in high school at the time, she had to jump through a lot of hoops to get into my classroom. She stands up. I remember that distinctly because students don't do that today. She stands up from the back of the room. She says, well, why don't you do something about it then? And that's when I realized that I had been entirely taught. until that moment. And that guy, who is never, ever without a word, was stunned silent. I had nothing to say to this young woman. She had come out and challenged me point blank, and I had nothing. And that's when I decided, okay, well, I need an answer. I need to be able to do something. I need to be able to say, that this isn't all talk, that I'm going to step up and I'm going to do something about it. I pulled petitions the next day. All right. And the rest, as they say, is history. So, again, I'm running for the State House, the House of Representatives, District 77. These issues and 100 others I didn't get to mention are the reason why I'm doing it. And they all come from stories, they all come from classrooms, they all come from people I've met along the way. I could go on all day, but like I said, I won't. So at this point, I'm just going to thank you all very much for your support. It's almost election day, it's almost here, and I think we're going to do something incredible. So thank you all very much for your help.